So you'd love to wake up early, but you feel tired whenever you do. How can you change that? Well, the first piece of advice is the kind of obvious one. If you're waking up early, you should try to go to bed early so that you get enough sleep. A lot of people have this thing where like, oh, I want to wake up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m., but they still go to bed at midnight or 1 a.m. because that's what they were used to going to bed at before. And then of course they get low sleep and they wonder why they're tired. And it kind of stands to reason, if you don't get enough sleep, you're gonna be tired. The second piece of advice I have for you is to realize that it might take some time to get used to it. You see, even if you are getting enough sleep, if you're used to waking up a lot later, you're used to getting up at 8 a.m, 10 a.m, maybe even midday, and now you switch to getting up at say 6, 7, maybe even 5 or 4 a.m, then you're going to find that you are probably quite tired at first because you're not used to it. It seems like it's still nighttime. It might even still be dark outside. So when you wake up, you're like, what the hell, I should be asleep. And you feel a bit jet lagged. That is normal. When you adjust your sleep pattern, you are going to be tired at first. But if you stick with it for a few days or at most a week or two, you should find that you adapt and you start feeling really, really energized when you wake up at that time. Now, the next tip that I have for you relates to the actual duration of your sleep. So I mentioned earlier that you should make sure that you get enough sleep by going to bed earlier, but sometimes that's not always possible. Sometimes, for whatever reason, you are forced to get less than an adequate amount of sleep. How can you feel less tired when that happens? And I have two pieces of advice for this. The first piece of advice is to make sure that you're getting enough sleep on the other days when you can. So get plenty of sleep, get extra sleep on those days. Try to make up for any sleep debt you've created so that when you do have a bad day, when you can only sleep, 5 or 6 hours one day, because you've been sleeping 8 to 9 all the other days, it doesn't really affect you in such a big way. You see, if you get bad sleep every day consistently, it's going to be awful for you. But on the other hand, if you get good sleep 99% of the time, and the other 1% you get terrible sleep, it's not going to matter. It's not going to have that big impact on you, and you're going to feel a little bit better on those days as well. The second tip is to do cardiovascular exercise. Get on a stationary bike, go on the treadmill, go for a run, go for a jog, even just go for some long walks, and do that regularly, at least 2 or 3 times a week, potentially every day. I would say aim for at least around 60 minutes a week, but a minimum of like half an hour of some decent exercise every week, and that will make a massive difference. That's probably like the number one thing that I've noticed has most affected how I feel when I don't get enough sleep. As long as I'm doing regular cardio, when I wake up after 5 or 6 hours, I actually feel pretty decent. Yeah, I might get sleepy later in the day, but I don't feel like a complete zombie that, can't survive. Whereas I used to feel like that before I started doing cardio regularly. And my final piece of advice to you, whether you're getting enough sleep or not, is to have an established morning routine. Whether it's getting up and having a cup of coffee, or getting up and going first thing in the shower, or getting up and going to your to-do list and checking what you have to do for the day, or one of my personal favorites is to actually sit down and meditate before you do anything else. Have some kind of established routine that you do every morning when you wake up. You're going to find that you drag yourself out of bed, and some days you're going to be, zombie mode. You're going to feel really sluggish. It's not going to feel very good. But as soon as you actually go through that routine, you go through the motions of what you do every day, you come out of it and you start feeling more awake because you've started the ball rolling. You basically started to build up momentum. And as a result of that, the energy is going to come to you and you're going to be able to go throughout your day. Before we go, I'd just like to let you know about my Mastery Self-Improvement course. It is a complete course to show you how you can tackle with your goals, overcome your fears and your issues that you're going to face along the way, and get exactly where you want to be in life. I can't do it justice in a small video segment, so I'm not even going to try. I'm going to link you to it in the top right hand corner and down in the description below. It's called Hard is the New Easy. Read about what it offers there and see if it's for you. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. If you want to support the channel, check out my Patreon page, and if you want to keep watching, click one of the videos on screen, go watch that, and I'll see you soon. Take care.